Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to this Sunday, episode 16. Last week was definitely something, but how are you guys doing before I continue that?
Pretty good. I'm excited.
I'm so relaxed.
Tired.
I'm good, ready to play.
I'm good.
I'm sorting
Just
out food.
different.
I am here and ready to go.
Well, that is a good. I know we're having a little problems with stuff, so everybody's so used to everything's being light up, but hopefully next week could be much better. And I know that M9 is kind of working on it currently. So that's why he's kind of focused. Yep, too focused. All right. So, anybody want to do last week's thing?
Sorry, I was banned from it.
Yeah, you are.
Wait, what did he do to get banned from it?
It was basically a little bit this, a little bit that, and done.
Oh, okay.
I spoke the truth.
As far as the last week's episode, we were basically given an option. We could go to help the captain with her war, and first step being to go speak with the pirate captains or lords. Or she could take us back to Faerun. If we basically spent the entire session debating it between each other. A lot of people wanted to go and help. The rest of us wanted, Voran and Victor was a bit hesitant to do that because they don't feel quite trusting of the captain at the moment. Because it feels like a selfish decision in their eyes to do something that they want without consulting the rest of the group instead of trying to do everything together. That is my synopsis. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yes, even at the end, the captain being by herself even question what is the point, basically. So, from there on, everybody went to sleep. If I'm not mistaken, there was letters that were sent either the night of or the next day. I'll give you the ones who sent out letters. It's up to you if you want to say what it says, or we can keep that a little secret.
I mean, I don't mind sharing what I wrote. Euphemia's was written in saying, "Dearest mother, dearest father, I finally received your letter, and I hope to give my aid to you when I can. With my time out at sea, it seems that the Red Hand is becoming more bold. They attacked the ship we were hired on, and a man clothed in white with a red hand on his chest, who is a demigod. I want to help where I can, but it seems that I may be too naive to do it. Is there something wrong with me that I'm not seeing what two people in our party is seeing? I'm so frustrated that I can't find the words to explain what I'm feeling. Please keep me updated on what's going on at home. Tell Xander I miss him and I love him. I miss everyone back home, and I hope to see you all again soon. Love you, Femi."
Very nice.
And that letter was sent at night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Cue
Victor's?
cue the writing in the background noise. Dear mother, I still find myself at sea aboard the Wind Dancer. a legendary trade ship that I joined some months ago to escape the clutches of the collective on Felu. The party that I am with has just completed our contract, but we find ourselves about to embark on a war against the Red Hand. It is difficult to send letters, but I will endeavor to do my best whenever I can. The party that I am venturing with came together after defeating an attack on Felu. We all had a shared dream, and from what we understand is that we have to stick together and find the others. Along the way, we have clashed forces with someone claiming to be the Elemental Queen. I do not know if this is true, but their power is undeniable. We also came across an agent of the Old Gods, or otherworldly forces, the monstrosity known potentially as Cthulhu. Now we find ourselves about to fight another force, a force called the Red Hand. I've met with a figure that calls herself the Voodoo Queen, and she claims that the individual leading them is a demigod of some sort. She showed me a potential future where the various ports of the world were destroyed, including our own. I would like to recommend that we have our navy prepared for a potential encounter. I hope Father is recovering well. I wish I could come back and help. Should I feel lost. I'll try to write again soon. Love, Victor.
As you fold those letters, they disappeared into the night towards, well, your parents. Eventually, night takes you. You fall asleep. Maybe some of you sleep better than others, but the morning comes. You hear movement as people are moving out throughout their day, what they need to do. So now the floor is yours.
Euphemia is going to do her morning routine. Getting herself all dolled up and ready to go for the day.
Minerva would also do her routines, except hers isn't really getting dolled up. It's more just braiding her hair and putting in the jewelry and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still dolling yourself up, just in her own
I
way.
guess so.
Magpie, I imagine, would have slept in one of the trees. Again that night. It's been a while, so for her that's comforting. She basically would have just rolled herself out of the tree and make her way down to the beach. Everything that she has is on her back, so she's ready to go whenever everyone else is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you arrive at the beach, of course, you see the Wind Dancers crew getting stuff ready to leave. And the rest of you?
She'll
Okay.
help. Oh, she'll help around trying to get things loaded onto the boats and ready to go.
The rest of you?
Warren would also be getting dolled up. No, I'm kidding.
He's gonna put his makeup back on.
he would be up nice and early helping with the docks and loading stuff up.
Okay.
Victor would definitely not help load anything up, but he'll wake up and he'd be giving himself a pep talk in the mirror. All right, I'm going to make a promise to myself today that I will not be negative. I will be positive, and things will go well for me today. You right, Victor? Look at me in the eye. Positive.
Yes, positive.
Absolutely. Who said that?
Are you kidding me? Do you want me? I'm just going to get back to sleep then.
No. Oh, all right. I was trying to give myself a pep talk.
I'm helping you.
Yes.
You not? Is that normal?
No. That's perfectly fine. Help me. You can be my alter ego. I'm going to be positive today. I'm not going to say anything negative about going to meet a bunch of vicious criminals. I am just going to exist, and that's it. And if it comes around to bite us in the ass, I will not say, I told you so.
Victor, that this actually might be a good benefit to you.
I don't see how.
Think about it.
Hmm.
You're Lord, right?
Yes, but obviously I have no power here.
True. But there's going to be a moment in your life where you can learn from this, what you can see, what people do, what their mannerisms. Think
Mhm.
about that.
Well, I already
And
know that dealing with pirates is probably not a good idea. But, sure. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? Explain.
I mean, think about it. You are a wizard. You study things, right?
Hmm. Yes. So, am I studying the crew like a bunch of subjects?
Somewhat, yes.
I see. Maybe I should take that. Maybe I should take that approach. Actually, just go along for the ride, and
Mm-hmm.
then, when people start dying, then it's not my fault.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, I think you're right. Or an experiment. I'll just observe and write down various things and see how they react to dealing with a bunch of criminals,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see how this is going to help us kill a demigod.
Or anything down the line.
Mhm. All right. Okay. Well, what do we do about an escape plan? Because this is most assuredly going to go poorly.
Mm,
I suppose I could jump into the ocean. I don't have to breathe.
true, but what about your companions?
Well, they did this to themselves, didn't they? Well, I would. You're right. I would have to save, as much as possible. Of course, I couldn't leave them be. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. All right. Positive. I'm doing
Positive.
it. I'm doing it again. I'm thinking negative. Positive. Everything's going to go swimmingly.
Exactly. Positive.
Hmm, positive.
Now, if you are, I'm not going to say scared, nervous maybe. Maybe you should get with your companions and draw a plan on just in case.
Every time I try to do that, no. Why should I want to trust me? But every time I try to do something like that, like let's come up with a plan. It's we never come up with a plan. Well, all right, maybe this time I'll approach it differently. I'll say, look, we need to come up with a plan in case things go horribly wrong.
Exactly.
All right, I'll do that.
Mm,
But,
Positive.
but I'm positive, but we had to have a backup plan.
Yes. Always have a backup plan.
Yes, all right. Okay, I'll bring that to the group then.
Perfect.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, then Victor he'll walk out the door with a smile on his face, feeling positive.
Positive. What about you, Nix?
All right, so Nix is getting himself dolled up.
Okay, cool.
Guy put on that fairy glow for the day. And by dolled up, I mean he's currently in the tent doing push-ups and sit-ups because
His
barbarian.
signature pixie dust.
My fairy dust comes out every time I pass gas.
Oh no.
It's a joke. No, he's doing his normal morning routine of working up a sweat before making his way down to the beach.
Okay. Eventually you would probably hear Keys or even Glenn just kind of yelling out, leaving in 10 minutes. Just kind of reminding people to kind of gather things, meet down the beach kind of thing. So some of you are already there, some of you are making your way. You do see the boats or the rowboats getting ready to go towards the Wind Dancer. And then you see the Voodoo Queen and the captain talking. You see the captain nodding, and then you see the Voodoo Queen get in one of the rowboats as all of you start to get into them as well. At this point, the rowboats are now on the Winddancer, and it is being set sail. You guys either roam around, put your stuff back into your guys' room, and then the ship starts to move, and you hear the captain yell out for a portal. As the portal opens, you guys see the sea before you. The captain will announce, "We'll arrive in 1 hour." Is there anything what you guys want to do within that hour?
Victor is going to try to round all the immediate party members together.
All right. Do you have a place that you guys want them to meet?
The mess hall. Sure.
Okay.
Come on, everyone, gather round, gather round. All right. I'm in a positive mood today. I woke up on the right side of the bed. I had a good pep talk with myself in my book. And we're really going to go meet these pirate lords, right? So, in order to quell some of my hesitation, I think we should come up with a backup plan for when shit goes sideways, so they say. All right. Now, there's not much we're going to be able to do since we're on a ship, and we're probably, I don't know if we're going to get off the ship. If we do, who knows? We could be on the island. I have no idea. But we need to figure out what we're going to do. If things are looking very bad, do we run back to the ship? What do we do? Like if they end up taking, if we have to survive, like how do we do that? Do we commandeer the ship? Do we run and hide in the woods somewhere? Or do we all just die?
I think it depends on where we're meeting.
Yes, you see how hard it is to make plans? It's so hard. We have no idea what the circumstances are.
I do
happened
think
to be
that
positive.
meeting back here on the Winddancer should be the fallback point. Even if we get split up, if things go awry, coming back here would probably be the safest bet.
I agree.
But if we're in a port, if we go into like a pirate port, aren't there going to be a whole bunch of pirate ships that could just turn their guns on us?
This is also the Winddancer. I'm sure that she has ways of defending herself. And she'll kind of like reach over and like pat the side of whatever part of the ship is closest to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, right? But we can't count on the fact that the ship is immortal and able to. We don't know the capabilities of the ship. We know it's strong. We know it can portal, but we have no idea how it can stand up to surrounded fire, and we have no idea if these other the pirate lords, have ships just as equally as strong as this one. So we could hopping on the ship could be a death trap. I don't know how to make a plan. I wanted to be proactive for once and try to, but I don't think we can, honestly.
From what I understand, it's an island. Staying on the island is probably the worst thing we could possibly do. There's no way off the island. Coming back to the ship, even if it is a death trap, is probably still our best chance of surviving.
That's not always necessarily true, though. I mean, you and I make a living in the shadows. sometimes hiding is your best bet.
I agree. And I know for one, if I don't know the relationship between these pirate lords and the Wind Dancer and the captain, but if a potential enemy was coming into my port, you could be damn sure I would have all my ships ready. And of course, whatever island defense is ready to blow that ship out the damn water. Right? So, I don't know. I kind of think
We're also going into enemy territory. You don't think that they would know the island inside and out?
now you see how this is a very difficult situation to even think about. How this is extremely, extremely dangerous.
That's why you have to learn to think on your feet.
That's,
Yeah, all right, but
that's
it's
kind
not.
of a thing that I'm used to doing as well.
All right, well,
It's
never mind.
not.
Plan.
No.
No.
Still good to have a plan. Because if all shit breaks out and we get separated, the only place that we will know that will be there is the Wind Dancer.
The
That's
Wind
another reason I
Dancer.
suggested if we get separated, we have to have a place to meet back up. The only place that we will know for sure would be the Wind Dancer.
But wouldn't that be exactly where they would expect us to go?
I mean, if I was them, the Wind Dancer's the first thing I'd take out of the picture.
Absolutely, I would too. I would know that one. If they're just going to come back to the Wind Dancer, blow the damn Wind Dancer straight to hell.
Or send an army to
And-
wait for us.
Yeah, or wait for us to try to get back up. Yes. I think Warren might be right. If something goes horribly wrong, we try to find a place on the island and hold out until we can find a way to escape.
Or this might sound bad, but we might have to split up.
Yes, but we need to have an ultimate goal of what to do.
Right. So it might come down to using what we all do best. Nyx, small, can fly, can stay out of sight.
No, that's not a bad idea.
That's actually a really good idea. I do have my familiar.
And you also have your transformation spell.
That as well. Yes, I could blend in. Absolutely. And we could find a way to get back together. I think so. I think if all hell breaks loose and we have to stay on the island, we can't make it back to the Wind Dancer. If we think it's just too horrible, we try to find the high ground, wherever it may be on this island.
I think step number 1 is just stay alive. do
absolutely.
whatever you need to do to stay alive. And then we
And
can't
we
meet
just try
up
to
if
find
we're
each other.
dead.
I know, but like I want to at least have like some sort of direction we can all
Right,
kind
no,
of
I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have to split up, if we have to do what we all do best individually, then do it. Stay alive, and then we'll find the means to get back together. But we can't do that if we die.
Fair point. All right, I feel a little bit better. Does anyone else have anything to add to the plan?
I agree that I guess the ultimate point would be to get back to the ship, right? We need to get out of here. But it might happen that maybe the Wind Dancer isn't the ship that gets us out of here. So we need to be ready to, like you said, adapt. But I have enough confidence in all of you that you'll be able to stay alive. Whether it's through a sword or your tongues. Let's just hope the conversation goes well, and then we don't even have to worry about it.
That is a hope.
All right. Well, thank you for entertaining my thought of a plan. At least I feel a little bit better. All right. Well, I guess we'll see here in the next 45 minutes or so when we ever get there.
Actually, back to the topic, just so I can gauge all of us a little bit. Minerva, when you're in a bind,
Mhm.
when you're nervous, when you have to get somewhere safe, where do you feel safest?
Mm,
Is it high
Usually in a
grounds,
temple.
temples?
Oh, well, like I mean, they're not everywhere, so it's not. I don't think there'll be one where we're going, but if I had the option, yeah, I'd go to Temple of the Goddesses. But as far high ground is usually a good place to go, yeah, because you can see everything around you.
What about the rest of you? I am one with the shadows as much as I can be.
I suppose if I had no other choice and I was off by myself, I would probably take the form of a pirate and blend in until I could, slip away.
This is good. Then we'll know at least somehow where we might all be. Euphemia?
On the occasions where I've had to figure out a way out of something, my guess for you is to look up. And that's when she would kind of like put on the shawl that she has.
All right. Nyx? You'll probably be the hardest to find.
I mean, honestly, I could shrink down and hide in the cracks of the floorboard and they'd never find me.
So you might be
I
our
only
key
need-
out.
I only need a 1-inch gap.
1-inch gap. Impressive.
Yeah, I can fit through most keyholes.
It means if shit goes sideways, we're looking to you.
With any luck, hopefully it won't.
Right. Of course.
But it definitely doesn't hurt to plan ahead.
But I think we're all in agreement that captured is better than dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely, because we can kind of count on at least somebody getting out and potentially saving us.
I can go invisible. And if need be, I can cause a distraction.
Distractions. Yeah, that's something else we should think about.
I can also make someone invisible. I can turn myself or someone else invisible. That's another potential. Should it ever happen, we ever need it.
I can get loud. I don't know how that helps.
Oh, I can actually potentially charm one of the guards or one of the pirates and have them tell me where they're keeping you if someone gets captured.
Or released. That's good. You could probably do the same thing, right? And he points at Euphemia.
Yes.
Okay, good. I feel better.
I think I want to go up on top deck and watch as we approach. I want to be. I want to get a good look at the island, or wherever it is that we're going. Also, does anyone know how to get to the cannons on this damn ship?
I think you'd have to talk to the boy.
Not that hard to get to.
I think I have.
Sure. Pointing in the direction. You just have to be clear with your thoughts. The ship will let you know.
Yeah, I guess I haven't thought about them much because I haven't seen them since I've been here.
All right. Well, good. I'm going to go on the top deck.
All right, sounds good.
All right. You guys disperse. Victor, you end up on the top deck. Everybody else, what they want to do, just kind of relax, chill. Do you want to do anything?
I think Brick is going to hang about the deck and any of the other crew to see if anybody mentions anything about just being nervous or hesitations or even some like knowledge that they might have of this place if any of them have been here before or have heard of it.
Okay. Are you looking? You said that you're looking to see
Yeah,
if
like
there's
basically
what
I'm going to
the
just
expression, but
just walking around to try to catch information.
okay. Give me a perception check. Okay. You're looking around, and of course, on top deck, you see Meg. She's at the wheel. She's concentrating on that. Keys, is smoking out his pipe, just looking around. He looks calm. You don't see the captain. And Glenn, he's on basically the crow's nest. He's looking out. For the halfling and the dwarf, they seem nervous. But I would say the original crew don't seem nervous.
Okay.
Anything else?
Not for now. I'll just
Okay.
continue. Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you?
I think Yevemi is going to go on to top deck as well.
Okay. I heard magpie.
I want to go and look for the captain, and in lieu of the captain, one of the original crew.
Okay. You see people on deck. And the rest, you don't see the boy, you don't see Cookies, or the captain. So,
I'll go see if I can find Glenn then.
Glenn's up in the crow's nest.
She will start climbing and making her way up.
Okay. You make your way up, and he's looking out.
Hey, Glenn.
Yeah.
I hate to bother you and all, but what can you tell us about this place that we're going? These pirate captains and such.
Well, they are each of the quote unquote lords, he kind of rolls his eyes for that, manage their own ship and crew. Some of them can manage up to 10 to 15 ships. They are known in different parts of the areas. And mind you, there's going to be other pirates that don't follow them, which they will have their own colors per se. But these particular lords have been, how do you say, passed down from generation, yada, yada, yada. They protect their territories, their areas. And yes, some of them are rich.
But what should we be expecting when we arrive? I know the captain and the Voodoo Queen are quite imposing. What are these? I know that they have their influence, but what can you tell me about their demeanor? Anything that you know of?
I would say this. There's a reason why these pirates go to this one island, the Iron Islands. It's more of a neutral, meaning there's no fighting, oddly enough. This place, these grounds, are safe, even amongst pirates. But just
So even
don't piss them off.
I'll do my very best not to do that, but if things do, as some people would say, go to shit, what's the cruise plan?
That's up to the captain. We just follow him. If stuff doesn't go right, they're not going to blast us right there and then. It's a parlay.
Understood.
Plus, pirates fear her and the ship. Some stories out there are true. It gives you a wink.
I'm sure everything will go fine. But Victor is right in the aspect of, well, this is new to us. Should at least have a plan. Figured I'd get as much information as I could. She kind of like bats him on the shoulder awkwardly, like she doesn't know how to interact
Mm-hmm.
with people. Thanks for that.
You
Though
know, it
I remember the captain saying that there's a market there. Any places you would recommend?
depends what you're looking for.
Two things: books and clothes. If they have anything like that. Blank books, I should clarify.
Blank books? I don't think you will find a blank book there. Clothes, well, they come a dime a dozen. I mean, they're pirates after all. So as we're walking, they might be selling.
Hmm. Are they expensive?
Do you know how to barter?
I'm a thief.
They are too.
No, I don't.
Well, if you have somebody who can barter for you, I would do that because they're pirates after all. One shirt
Well,
might cost you 1 gold, and that's not even worth it.
mm, I thanks.
He nods.
Have you seen the captain today?
She might be in her quarters.
Right. I'll leave you to it then.
All right,
She'll give him a wave before trying to head
go
back
back there.
down.
All right.
Yeah.
Rest of you?
Nix is just gonna chill out on the top deck, leaning against a rail, staring at the water.
Okay. Whatever.
What was the question?
Is there anything do you want to do before heading towards this island?
Not specifically, no.
Okay.
Think Euphemia would just be playing her lyre.
Mm-hmm. And then Victor, you said that you were on top, just like looking around.
Yeah, he wants to get a good look at the island as they approach.
That's right. All right. Okay, Magpie. Eventually, you do get on deck.
She's gonna head to her room and put all but 10 gold in a safe spot in her room.
Okay.
Cause going into a pirate's place, she's not carrying all her gold on her.
Yeah. All right. All of you hear the waves, and eventually you hear seagulls. Then you hear Glen land ho. Victor, as you look ahead, you see this island, but it's very odd looking. You see ships porting, but as you kind of, try to take more of a look, you start to see floating ships, which you kind of rub your eyes and you notice that no, they're not floating, they're actually in the island itself, almost creating this huge mountain of makeshift like homes or housing or business. It is very tall, and as you take a look, you also notice there's other mountain ridges and everything, and it's almost like in a weird bowl-like structure. But the ships themselves, you see hundreds. Or even more. All different kinds of ships, big, small, galleons. Their sails, some of them are tattered or new. And you see symbols, all kinds. Meg steers the wind dancer to an empty spot. You see people moving around. eyeing the ship and whispering. The ship stops. And the crew around you begin to move. The captain emerges. All right. Follow me if you want to witness. If not, you can stay at the ship. Meg, keys, and cookies, and the boy will stay back.
You fam
Glenn.
should get up and go with.
Glenn will follow.
Nyx will go with.
Magpie's going.
Nerve is going.
Yeah, Victor's gonna go too.
Same.
And Celeste. Celeste is carrying her back.
Are you sure
As a
about
ca-
that? Victor will look toward her before she disembarks. You're going to bring that into this, and he kind of gestures at the massive fort that is of pirates.
It's safer with me.
Fair enough.
Besides, can't quite tell what it is. And she taps the bag, and the bag begins to shrink. Small. Captain, how long do you think this take? Could take up to 2, 5, 6 hours? I could this will last 8 hours. All right. And it just looks like a tiny bag on that she's carrying. Don't worry, I only do this once in a while because it's a very, very strong spell.
It doesn't harm it, does it?
No. Actually, never mind. I'll tell that story later.
All right then.
All of you begin to walk and follow the captain. You see all kinds of people. You see Goliaths, humans, elves, drow. Occasionally a goblin or two. Orcs, half orcs. And fairies. All types. All different. Some of them are yelling at you, trying to convince you to buy a mug, some clothing. Very pricey. But the captain continues. Up the steps, around a corner, up more steps, through the mountain, around the mountain. And it feels like it just takes forever. Up and up you all go. Occasionally you can see outside and see the view. The ships look so far away. You continue to climb up, and the captain stops and looks over to anybody needs rest. Let me know. It almost seems it's a little late. Maybe some of you could have rested maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago. She looks at all of you and, all right, continues to walk. Eventually, you see a huge door. On this door, you see carvings of ships, coins, treasure chests. Some of it seems to be painted with gold. 2 pirates guard the door. They hold up their hand. I'm here for the meeting. Calm. Just need to know it's actually you. Can't believe that we heard that the wind dancer's here. Right? But I guess we can open the door. We go to the door and open it up. Inside, you see all kinds of people. In the middle of the room, a huge table, 7 chairs. Captain walks through. All of you follow. And then you see the pirate lords sitting in the chair. One, you see a tiefling. His skin is a dark red. Behind him, you see a flag, a sail. There is a circle with some lines in it. The colors are black and red. Another. Next to him, you see a bronze dragonborn. Behind him, you see the flag. The colors are bronze and white. The symbol is a dragon wing outlined in white. You see next to him 2 people sitting in a very large chair together. One, you see a human woman, and the other one, a half orc. The sail behind them is black and white. The symbol, a skull with an octopus wrapped around it. This is going from left to right. In the middle of this is an empty chair. But to the right, you see a young woman, almost too young to be a pirate. But she has the colors behind her, blue and white. You see a symbol of a blue phoenix outlined in white. Next to her, you see a man with long dark hair. And what do you notice, especially you, Victor? His eyes are red. But what catches you is the colors in the symbol. The colors are red and gold. The symbol is a red rose with a drop of blood and a moon behind it. You know the symbol by heart. Next to him is a Goliath. He just smiles. His colors are gold and bronze. His symbol's a mug of ale with a dagger. There's movement behind you all as you kind of take a glance and you see a group of people. They're unique because you wouldn't think they are pirates. Their color or their clothing themselves almost seems too humble, but they are very vibrant, very colorful, especially the feathers that they have. A young woman holds a pitcher and begins to move towards the seven. And in the middle, places a painting. And in this painting, you see an older woman, and on her shoulder is a hummingbird. The woman that places, she also wears vibrant colors and has a hummingbird upon her shoulder. She just stands behind the chair. At this point, so all you hear the chattering amongst everybody, it eventually dies down. And the seven looks to your group, especially the captain. The tiefling looks. So, tell us, Captain, why did you call upon the seven? She steps forward. I call upon the seven is because we have an enemy in common. The Red Hand. You start to hear the whispers again. And, well, you seven technically supposed to protect the ocean's waters, even though during your piracy stuff. You see the Goliath grin. Each of you have a section, and each of you, I know, has been attacked here and there. But if we sail together and show them what we can do, we can drive back the Red Hand, especially the leader. The man that has the pale skin and red eyes. He sits up. And why should we follow? Yes, you keep saying this Red Hand. But even I know they are quite different. Victor, he glances at you for a moment and sits back.
I think Victor would just smile and barely show a little bit of a fang before wiping it off his face.
Mm-hmm. He kind of gives you a smug look. This Red Hand is different. These Red Hand want to take over everything and anything. They want everything that we own. And then beyond. The young woman kind of sits up. If we were to sell with you, you're no pirate. The captain kind of nods. I'm not. And the funny part is, you'll fear me. The room begins to mutter loud as arguments you hear. The pirate captains look about, and instantly the room silence. You hear the deep laugh of the Goliath. We don't fear you. That's what they all say. I mean, it was you about a year ago who tried to attack my ship. Goliath kind of sits back. My mistake. Look. We have witness, and she will point to all of you. The one that leads. The person that's all dressed up in white and has a blood upon his chest. We found out what he could be, what he is, but we don't know. She kind of shakes her head. Look, I am going to be truthful to you, all, because we all know how pirates are. If we don't take a stand against the Red Hand, we will all be destroyed. The Voodoo Queen steps forward and places a card in the middle and kind of puts it forward. And all of you have been to me and asked me many questions. And he has been meddling with my stuff. And I don't like it. She flips the coin or flips the card and shows him. They all take a look. And then they all look at the Voodoo Queen. For a split moment in their face, you see fear. She takes the card and puts it back in her pocket. At this point, Warren, you feel something on your horns.
I would look up.
You see Hummingbird. As you look up, Hummingbird looks down and you notice there's something it's holding in its beak. The hummingbird takes off. And lands in front of the captain. Drops whatever is in its beak and leaves. She picks it up and all of you see a silver feather. The young woman who has a hummingbird upon her shoulder is definitely different. She kind of squeezes in between the two chairs. Huh. So my mother did choose you. No. Captain, you know the rules. Besides, I already made the decision anyway. My family, my crew are with you. This is what mother wants. Besides, she looks to the young woman. I know that your mother would want this too. The woman folds her arms. Yes. The Blue Phoenix and company will follow. So will the hummingbirds. The others around the room can't be serious as they begin to argue. The two women are sitting in the same chair. Look at each other. This would be romantic, don't you think? Come on. Romantic? Going after the red hand? Oh, come on, darling. We've been bored for the last 2 years. Nobody really goes around our water. I have 4 glass. Fine. The skull octopus will follow. Is there something I don't get? Is there something I don't see? As the tiefling stands up. You are following a merchant. Well, maybe because you're a female. You see a half orc stand up. Let's go take this to the waters then. No, 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 no. I just simply just want to know why. The young woman with the hummingbird. Well, what all of you don't know is that my mother was kidnapped and the red hand killed her. The other woman stands up. 3 months ago, my mother and her crew have gone to fight with the red hand. So this is revenge. The orc sits down and I just follow her. The bronze dragon, you see a puff of smoke coming out of his nostrils. Hmm. I really want to know what all of you think. And you will point to you guys behind the captain.
Who else?
Yes.
You want to know what I think?
Mm-hmm.
Well, How do you stop a demigod?
At this point, they begin to whisper. And who is this demigod?
Well, I'm sure the captain was getting to this, or perhaps the Voodoo Queen, but the one who leads the Red Hand is apparently a demigod.
Cloaked in white, with a
Mhm.
red hand pressed right on the chest of it.
My question is, all right, sure, you go out and blow up all the ships of the Red Hand, but if you can't kill the demigod, it's just going to rebuild or do whatever it is that they're going to do. How are you going to kill it? Or him, her, whoever it is. That's the question that you must solve.
The bronze dragon sits back. Hmm. It would explain why there's so many. He grabs a book and begins to flip through it. That's what I thought. Captain, were you going to tell us that this was a demigod? Of course. But the one thing is, I would have dealt with it myself. And that means you know why I want to take down most of their crew. He nods. The Goliath kind of looks. What? What do you mean? The bronze dragon looks down. This red hand wants to extend. He wants to become a god. In order to do so, which he will look at the male with red eyes. Well, you know the answer because you do follow your goddess. And what should I do? See, what I know is that there have been times that demigods actually turn into gods because of the amount of worship. So how many you think red hands are worshiping this person? So therefore, what he wants to do is to strike fear to everybody out there so he can get worshipped. The more worship he gets, the more he can, well, climb on top. So I see what you're doing. Destroy most of them. Almost knock them down a peg or two.
Wait. Are you suggesting we kill all of his followers? Because that's brilliant. But that's got to be a lot of work.
I
Also,
think we're asking for help.
you do know we're going to go kill. So hold on. We got to get this definitely clear. So, what's the line of determining who you kill? If somebody just worships this man because they fear him, right? Like, is that still a green light to kill the individual?
I think we're just going across those who are part of the Red Hand directly. Unless I'm mistaken.
So Captain kind of looks between all of you. Usually, for a fight, it will take almost like a one-on-one. while the rest of the ships will line up behind them. The two ships will fight and see who lasts. By that time, the rest of the ships or the crews will get ready to embark on another fight, like a second wave. Yeah, so you're saying it would be you? Yes.
This brings up even more questions. Why do you think you're strong enough to deal with a demigod? By yourself? Are you a demigod?
She looks at you puzzled. No.
Well, then how are you going to one-on-one a demigod? Are you that strong? Is that your power? I'm curious. Because from what I've understood, if you're on the path to godhood, you're pretty strong. Like incredibly strong.
There is one way to kill a demigod. The pirates look to her. There's no way you found it. I did. And I made it into a weapon. Which, if anybody tries to steal it from me, I will kill you. She smiles. This is why I need to have my ship battling his ship or her, whatever it is. If I can get a chance to plunge it in his heart, no more demigod.
Question. Sorry, me again here. Just your resident wizard. How do you plan to get close enough to the demigod to actually stab him with it? Like, what is the extent of his powers? Couldn't he just snap you out of existence?
Not all
It,
demigods have all that power, and we don't know. I mean, what he could have done, he could have snapped me back to the island, but he didn't.
of course, people like that like to gloat. The thing is, we don't have any idea the extent of his or her power at the moment, right? I feel like I mean I will just be quiet and let everyone speak, but I'm just trying to think about this logically. If we don't know the extent of his power, how can we bank on the fact that you're going to even be able to get close enough to do this?
He's a pirate. And what every pirate wants, and she looks to everybody, is my ship. She's not wrong. Yeah, she's right. Her ship is one of a kind, as you hear the different voices. Does that answer your question?
Not really. Kind of. It's just what do we know about this individual? Like, how much information do we actually know? Like, do we know their habits? Do we know the origin? Do we know the name? Do we know like what their weakness is in particular? I feel like I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to do whatever it is to get rid of this guy or whatever, but I feel like we're kind of just doing it on a whim. We're just like, all right, let's go. We'll get into formation and we're going to take on this demigod that we don't know the full source of the power. Right? Like, is there a way to figure out the full source of the power? Perhaps maybe like an infiltration mission, right? Someone get close? Or is it he or she already so strong enough they could read your motives instantly? Right? I don't know the scale of power this individual holds.
Maybe pirates themselves. They come and go like ghosts. Just like a vampire. Or even worse. You see the man stand up. I am sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I am Sir Francis. Captain of the Red Rose. And if you, Captain, believe that this is an ideal, then I'm for it. My goddess will be on my side. He bows. And for you, Monsieur, it's understandable that the questions be answered. But it would be hard to find them. Because there's many of us in the past has tried to locate where these red hand live. And never has found them. So even if we can take down some of the crew, especially for this fight, oof, then I lived long enough.
For those of you who commune with the gods, why not reach out and ask for more information on this red hand? See if they know.
Because sometimes gods don't answer. This is the first time you see the captain almost have like a wave of anger across her face.
Which is why I don't follow them. But it doesn't hurt to ask. You might get lucky.
Goliath stands up. You had me a fight. I'm with you. Bronze Dragon kind of continues to flip through the book. Yes, I'm there. He looks again through the book. The tiefling rolls his eyes. Really gonna go in blindsided, just like this man said. Not necessarily blindsided. But if we could see them all in the waters, well, he just waves his hand. Fine. My question is when? When do you want to do this? And where? Well, that's the key. That's the key. Definitely open waters. Nothing around. And get to get them there. Well, I have a way. All right. So let's come up with a plan. She nods. I will let you all talk while I will talk to them. They all nod. The captain looked to all of you. Let's step outside. Do you follow?
I would follow.
Never would fall.
Yep. I mean, would follow.
As you follow, the doors are shut. She goes down the hallways and enter in almost like it's just a small room. She leans on the wall, looks to all of you. I know you have concern. And yes, be concerned. What I am going to do with the rest of my crew will be dangerous. If you still need me to get you to where you all need to go, to Feilu, I will make sure that we get you there. If you want to help me, then you're welcome to stay and help. And yes, Victor, it might be hard for them to get on my ship, but they want to board the ship. It's like every pirate.
I understand the fact of trying to use your ship as bait, right? But what makes you think you'll get even close enough? Let's say he gets on the front of the whoever it is, they get on the front of the deck, and what's your plan? Your plan is to run up and stab him with something that you have?
Oh, we're going to fight.
I know, but what makes you think that it will be a fight? That's my concern. Right? Unless you are holding the biggest secret in your demigod yourself, like, how do you. Maybe I'm just confused on the scale of power. Like, there's things that I could do after a bit of training that could really, stop exactly what you were trying to do. Right? And I'm putting myself in this individual's shoes. If I had unfathomable power, how do you think you could touch it?
Let me ask you this question. Where you come from, or any of you, there's a thing called a duel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Pirates have their own laws, their own ways. So in a way, we're dueling on our ships. We try to make each other's ships weaker so we can board. And I want him to board this ship.
And I do want to say it will. And again, I'm going off of my gut feeling, and usually it's not wrong. With how he gestured before we retreated into the portal, to me that was an active challenge. So I'm thinking it's going to be fine.
I'm not doubting that they will engage in battle
I'm not saying that you are either.
at
but
all, right? Like, sure, maybe this guy wants to duel, but what if this individual was able to determine that you have something that, kind of swings the duel, out of his favor? We don't even know what this something is, right? I'm just saying, if that's what you want to do, by all means, sure, I'm for it. Good luck. I'll help as much as I can, but stabbing a demigod when you're not one, I'm sure that's going to be quite challenging.
But it's not impossible.
It unless it's their arrogance or whatever it is, they feel that they cannot lose potentially. But there's things that you can do, Euphemia. Like eventually, like you can banish people to other realms. You can
That I
do
understand that.
yes, right. I just want to know how. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just my mind going.
I understand your
crazy.
hesitation, to be honest. I mean, I can dodge things very easily in a fight at times, and I don't even feel like I'm much of a fighter. So I understand your thought behind anyone could have something up their own sleeve. And it is something that we have to think about. But I'm guessing the ship will give you an advantage. Isn't that what you're hoping?
You see a smile on her face. There are reasons why my parents fear me. And there's times I just don't even do anything. But you all have witnessed what the ship can do.
It's strong. It can teleport. It can do things. But a demigod.
They're not like the gods.
They are
A demigod is like. All right, someone help me with my definition of a demigod, please. Like, that's pretty much the step to the godhood, right? And I'm not saying the gods are infallible. You can't kill a god, but
They're
a
half
demigod.
mortal and half god. Now it depends who gave birth to this. That's a whole different story.
Well, it could. I mean, essentially, also couldn't it just be a mortal that just got worshipped a whole bunch, and
That
they
would
get
take
all
a
this power?
long time. Like it takes centuries.
Yes, but we don't know really anything about this being. Unless I don't know.
I don't think it's a horrible idea to try to get some answers from the divine people that be. I don't have anyone to talk
Do
to,
you
but
worship?
No, but they do.
I mean, just one captain there worships.
I can go talk with the individual, the one-looking vampire guy. He worships the same goddess that I do.
I mean, honestly,
But
it's as good plan as any. Like, Victor, I understand your hesitation, but like, what else is there to do?
I just don't think we have any information about this person, individual, whatever. I
Yeah,
I
know
don't
thy
know.
enemy. I understand. I understand that
Like,
more than
do we
anybody.
think like what? All right, first, explain the artifact that you have. What does it do?
I don't know.
Okay, so that brings my confidence even higher.
But you're hoping it kills the demigod?
No, this. She actually pulls it out. It looks like a weird kind of makeshift junk necklace. I don't know what this is.
What the hell? How? Why do you think that's going to help?
No, this is different. This is from something else. What I have. She looks around the room, and then she, on her hip, you see a sword, and she pulls out the sword. This here will kill a demigod.
But how do you know that? Like,
Have you killed
where
one
did you?
before?
Yes, have you killed a demigod before?
No,
Also, plain devil's
but
advocate, question. What happens if you fail and he gets that thing? That seems so much more dangerous.
it's bound to me.
Oh,
But what if you're dead? Is it bound to you then?
Dennis is right. I took measures on this.
Was it crafted?
Yes.
Then the person who crafted it for you told you.
Oh, I made
What
sure of
it
it.
can do.
Oh,
Sound like
trust
you
me,
two?
it costs a lot of gold for it.
Does
and
that
this
make you
might
two feel a little bit better?
be another dumb question, but I'm assuming you're okay with the possibility of losing your life.
Yes.
Is there anything any of us can do to increase your odds? We all have very specific abilities.
I know sometimes plans can be shattered. But usually people will board the ship. Take care of them first. If there's an opportunity, because I know they will play dirty, when I engage with him, others will try to engage as well. Get rid of them. And if you have a moment to, I don't know, send a magic arrow, something towards him, do it. But my focus would be on him. Any other questions?
Warren would take a deep breath and just kind of throw his hands up and be like, well, you have my daggers. At least maybe they'll write a great song about me one day.
Maybe I will. You forget I'm a bard.
Leave me out of it.
Too late. She'll grin.
I don't want to share a song.
Too bad.
And he'll just walk away, kind of like mumbling, like Vorin the Great to himself.
Is there anything else that we could do in the meantime?
Well, going to prepare the ship, of course. But we need to see what they say.
Should we be worried about that other man?
Which one?
The one who left? Unless I'm misremembering things.
He didn't leave. He just
Had
stood up.
banana soup.
Oh, the tiefling.
No, not the tiefling, the vampire.
Oh, no, he didn't leave.
Oh, he
He
didn't
just
leave?
stood up.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Gotcha. I thought he left
Mm-mm.
because he was offended. Never mind. Ignore me. Then she didn't ask that.
That's fine.
No. My fault for misunderstanding the situation.
It's okay. I can't do many voices.
You do more
Um,
voices than I do. I have up and down and normal. That's it.
all right. Shall we go back?
Also,
Mhm.
just one little side note. I know it's weird coming from me, but try not to insult them if you want them to work with you. You know, maybe pass that along to the Voodoo Queen.
She looks at you. Oh, quite interesting. All right.
I know it's strange manners coming from me, but honestly,
Vorin would chuckle to himself.
Plundering my alcohol. Is that what's going on here?
what? No, Nix. We're talking about a demigod.
Well, I know, but you're not acting like yourself, so I'm just wondering if you happen to get into my alcohol.
Oh no, I just I want to live a lot longer than my current amount of years. And we're getting ready to go face a demigod, so I want the best chance at survival as possible.
Then have faith that this will work, Victor.
It's just you know what?
Positivity.
I'm just positivity killed the cat. All right.
That was curiosity.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see positivity. Let's see this work. But I don't know. I'm just going to stop talking. You guys, if you don't have any concerns, and I have none either, we'll just go do this.
All I'm going to say is when you start doubting that this is not going to work, that's when we are going to fail.
No.
Yeah,
When
I
you
don't
thoroughly
agree with that.
analyze, when you thoroughly analyze a plan, you increase your odds of success.
Yeah, but both of you had doubt this entire fucking time.
That's because we don't know the extent of
Yeah, it's a
this
very
individual's power.
doubtful situation.
Yes, it's like you don't wake up every morning and say, "All right, let's go face the demigod today." Like
Call me a fool then, because I think it's going to work.
one of these days it won't. But let's go.
Although you leave the room, go back down the hallway. The door opens for all of you. Inside, they are still talking, but they stopped when everybody entered. The young woman stands up, the one with the hummingbird. All right. If you could contact him, and find a place, and we'll be there. She nods. And this will be, well, we all know, be a fight with you, both of you, the ships. And then after that, we will come in. Captain nods. I'll let you all know when I find a spot. I have one in mind. I'll send you all letters and make sure you get there. Everybody nods. They begin to get up and start moving. Some start leaving. Captain turns around and let's go back to our ship. Unless you, Victor, wanted to talk to Sir Francis.
Oh, yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
Greetings, Sir Francis.
Bonjour.
I am Lord Victor Noct. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I couldn't help but to recognize your rose there. It's quite similar to my own.
Yes.
I was just curious about you and your thoughts on the mission.
He looks at you. Not. Why does it sound familiar?
My father is Lord Lucan Noct of Dark Harbor. Maybe
Ah, yes. I've been there. Maybe it was 200 years ago.
Oh, wonderful. Then perhaps you might know my father. He's been there for quite some time.
Most likely.
Oh, wonderful.
But back to this mission. What do I think of it? Death. But with
Mhm.
pirates, there's always going to be death.
All right. What do you think the chances are that this captain, trade captain, as you will, that is apparently fear, what do you think the chances are that they're going to be able to kill this demigod in a one-on-one battle? Paul?
Yeah. You know, she, what I know of her, she always has something up her sleeve. I know that over time we always hear stories that other pirates have tried to take on the blue ship and don't succeed. And so, of course, those stories go through all these, through us, and we hear it all the time. So, she is a quite interesting character.
Yes, indeed. She is quite interesting. Quite powerful, it seems, as well. I've been trying to get a read on her for quite some time. But anyways, yes, my group and I, we kind of stumbled upon the ship here and have been sailing with her for some months now, doing various odds and ends. But it's good to see similar-minded individuals for once.
Now, of course, you're a kind of like smells the air and dumpier.
Yes, that's correct.
Not too many of you out there, but be careful.
Yes, I will try to have my life extended as long as possible. However, I feel like I'm going into a very, very dangerous situation. Are you going to be fighting in this battle?
Of course, I already put myself into it, and my crew will be there.
All right, wonderful. Should things go horribly, horribly wrong on the ship, I find myself in the water. If I were to make it to your ship, would you be able to provide me some assistance?
Of course.
Very good, wonderful. I'm sure I of course would be most gracious, and my father as well.
Ah, yes. Well, it's good to see a son of him. I used to well, him and I used to talk a lot, but like I said, it's been 200 years.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should visit sometime. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be able to properly have you as a guest in our court.
That'd be good. He smiles and you see the fangs.
Wonderful. Um, ah, but yes, I just wanted to say hello, and I guess I'll go about trying to survive here in the next few hours or days or weeks, or how long it's going to take.
All right, Victor.
All right, farewell. And he would kind of meander his way back towards the group.
They were just waiting for you, and eventually when you came or come to the group, the captain will nod and start to walk. In the meantime, it's a long walk. People are all around. It does take a bit to get back down, and eventually all of you are back on the Wind Dancer. Then you start to kind of notice the colors or the sails of the ships that are about as the Wind Dancer starts to leave. But the captain is still keeping an eye out. And another portal is open as everybody goes through, leaving behind Iron Islands. All right. The captain look. Meg, if you want, take us a little bit further while I make this a letter as you head to her quarters. You guys are free to talk or anything?
Well, that Sir Francis is quite the gentleman. I think I might have secured some passage for us should things go horribly wrong and that ship hasn't been blown up.
Yet he seems interesting.
Yes. Definitely a vampire. He might know my father. It's been some time since he's seen him, but that's good. So potentially an ally out there that could help us. So, how does everyone feel about this? Are we going into this battle now, or?
No, she has to get in contact to set up the duel,
Yeah, right.
so we have time.
I'm sure it'll take some prep time.
All right. Well, how is everyone feeling after all that?
Quite peachy.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same, but it is what it is.
I suppose we have to be prepared for anything that could happen. So, the possibility of death is really real right here.
I mean, it's real no matter where we go.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, but with a demigod, the chances go up very, very high.
let's be honest, we almost died to what? Elementals, arrows,
Cthulhu.
Water.
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 So
Yes,
what?
water.
We should have no reason to fear a demigod.
A plant. You tell me that part's in the song, right?
It might.
I suppose something funny. Should I perish during this, put on my gravestone, I didn't like this plan.
No, Victor. If you perish, I can put that on your tombstone. But under it's going to be also I've been reunited with my monkey.
Sure. There we go.
But I don't think anyone is going to die from this.
I don't know how you could be
Again,
so
I don't understand how
optimistic.
you're so positive either, let's be honest. Like I just said, we almost died to water, but you're not worried about a demigod.
I'm a monster hunter.
I
Okay.
know, but
I've helped my family capture and kill large beasts.
Yes, and in the time that I've known you, you've also gotten very hurt.
Yes, that's going to happen.
I just feel like a demigod is on an entirely different plane than we are. You know, it's. I would understand if it's, the head of the collective, right? Even that would be a challenge, right?
What's to say the head of the collective's not a demigod?
I would assume that demigods are probably more rare than I am in the world. Right? Like, we don't understand the full. I don't know. When I read, books and things and study, right? It's even getting close to godhood is an achievement, like beyond achievements. Like that is true power. And I mean, unless I'm completely mistaken on what that is, and it's just simply, just half of this and that.
Yeah. Minerva, you're a very religious individual. Are you not fearful of this at all?
Don't think she's there.
Oh, yeah, I think she might went to the mess hall for a moment.
Oh, sorry. Were you talking to me?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, sorry, I'm here.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were standing behind me. I was asking, you're a very religious individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not fearful at all about facing a demigod?
Of course I am. That'd be silly to not be at least a little afraid, but I also have faith that my goddess will help me get through it. If it's truly our destiny, if it's what we're supposed to do.
So are Victor and I just kind of just being chicken?
No.
Because honestly, it feels like everyone else is being a bit dismissive about this. It's a demigod. Maybe we're just I don't
I
know.
don't know how else of me try to talk to you and try to make this a little bit better of a situation. Not trying to be dismissive about it. Yes, we're all probably fucking scared. But we're not going to show it the same way. Or be vocal about it.
Well, I don't want you to say it'll be all right. I want you to say we need to work on making this work. I think it's important that if some people are being vulnerable, the other ones shouldn't be dismissive.
Then I will keep my mouth shut.
There's nothing to be quiet about and all this.
No, that was
Everybody
exactly the
should
opposite
speak
of
up.
what I was
That's-
asking.
Apparently my optimism isn't needed.
No, it's definitely needed. It's just we don't know the scope of this individual's power, and let's forget about demigod. What do we think about the plan? A duel with an artifact that could potentially kill a demigod. I don't know. I just feel like we never have enough information. It's
Sometimes
always.
we're not going to.
I know, but.
And this is where I'm going to take the coin from. We're going to make it work. We'll play dirty. We'll do the same fucking shit that they do.
We'll do what we have to make it out alive.
Exactly.
We're probably going to get hurt. It happens.
There's no doubt that it's going to be dangerous.
And there's no doubt that every one of us are slightly afraid, but standing on that fear, staying back, can be dangerous too. I completely, Joseph, I'm afraid I might die, but I look at it this way: if it happens, just means I'll be reunited with my queen sooner. She saved my life once. I owe her my life. She calls for me to go to this war, I go.
I just feel like there could be more done to thoroughly tempt this feat, right? Like, let me give you an example of what if I was going to let's take for example another enemy, right? Let's say there's I don't know, a powerful necromancer somewhere, right? First thing I would want to do is like, all right, it's like we want to stop this necromancer. First, we need to investigate the necromancer. We need to figure out, all right, where is it that this necromancer is? What kind of powers does this necromancer have? Like, what can we kind of expect, right? And then we need to make like an educated decision of, all right, are we going to take it on here? Are we going to try to draw it out to give us the best chance to complete our goal, right? And I feel like we're going into this with no information whatsoever. We have no scope of the power of this individual, right? Like a demigod is no slouch. Like in the order of cosmic beings, they're probably like right below gods. I'm pretty sure. Is that right? Like just right an inch below gods. And the scale might vary up and down a little bit, sure, but that's pretty strong, like extremely strong. And I feel like we're banking on this plan with this weapon that we don't know if even will work. But honestly, it's perfectly fine. All we have to do, we're dealing with the fodder around it, right? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm not banking on this fucking weapon to work. I'm banking on all of us to make sure that she gets her fucking side of her job done.
You think we're going to be able to put a dent in the demigod?
No, I'm not saying that we're going to fight him. That if she's going to be the main person fighting him, and yes, we'll get our hits in from time to time, but we keep the other lackeys that this demigod has from touching her.
Sure, all right. I'm on board with that. Let's maybe we could should just assume that this demigod is just not nearly as strong as a god. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong, right? Because if it's a god, right, they could just look at us and be dead, right? So let's take that scale down a little bit more to demigod status. What kind of powers do you think they would have? Do you think they would have the power to stop time?
If they did, they probably would have used that when we were trying to escape.
Yeah, probably not.
And that's assuming that, he has magical abilities. What if he's just, stronger than a normal person?
Wait. All right. Maybe my definition is completely wrong of a demigod. If that's the case, I need to figure this out.
I'm viewing. So I get where you're coming from. I 100% do. In my mind, I'm viewing demigod more as a title of a person who was born between a human and a god. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have said powers of the god.
But it was mentioned that they have worshippers, right?
Not always.
But this one does.
They do, but we also don't know how many worshippers they have, and maybe it could be their worshippers are mostly from the fear of the fact that they lead the Red Hand. There's a lot of information we don't have.
All right, so you're saying that they could just be somebody that's full of shit and isn't really capable of much more than what we are.
That is entirely a possibility.
I think that they have some ability, otherwise they wouldn't have such good control. However, I don't think worrying just because they are a demigod means that they are unbeatable or leaps and bounds more powerful than any other enemy that we face.
That's what
They
I've been
will be
trying to
dangerous.
say.
Can
Yeah,
I make
but
a
that's the thing. I
roll
don't agree
of-
with that, though.
Yeah, can I make a roll to like understand the nature of demigods? Like an intelligence roll or something?
If someone was to tell me you're facing a
Religion?
celestial, I will be afraid. I am nothing but a rogue that's in the streets. Like, yes, I've killed a person here and there, but I'm not a god. I'm not a demigod. I'm not a celestial. I'm not any of these things.
Yeah, give me an intelligence roll.
All right, intelligence. Religion? That is an end skill, so I can roll that if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's a +5. Oh, I didn't roll with advantage, but that's fine.
Okay. You are trying to recall what you can. You know, everything. The only religion that you really understand is, of course, what your religion, what your god. There's been case by, like you read about demigods, how sometimes, um, they fall in love, they have a child, yada yada yada. Um, oh, okay. You do recall something long time ago, just a very small snippet of um of the goddess Selene, who fell in love with a mortal. And they had children, 14 children. So they ended up being, demigods, half. But some of them had to choose when they grew up what path to take. Either to understand magic or understand uh, the lichens, because the father ended up being turned into a lichen, which he was the first one, by his wife. Some of the stories kind of can't quite remember, but what you also gathered is that the triplets actually ended up being the goddesses of magic, and the youngest daughter ended up being also a goddess, and she obtained the name the Triple Threat. This kind of raises your eyebrow because you're trying to remember, because even though 4 of them became gods, the rest are not. So you start to figure out it is about worship and how far you can go. There is also another, oh yes, this one you would definitely frown upon, because this one is the name that you kind of remember as Carmilla. And she is a demigod. And she calls herself the Queen of Vampires and the Bringer of Death.
Oh, she's the Queen of Destroy.
Mm-hmm. And she is a demigod.
Yeah, she's extremely powerful.
Mm-hmm. And your parents would definitely warn you of the Strigoi and of her. And reasons on how she got her powers is because she's the one that created the Strigoi. And so they worship her. And also, even though she calls herself the Queen of the Vampires, your father and mother would basically almost like spit that out, almost saying, don't even say that thing. Because she is no queen of them. The only queen is Lilith. So yeah, that's what's mixing in your head right now. So there's like known, unknown, and like demigods could start out with no power and ended up rising to the top.
Okay, so like above table, like my whole thought, like on demigods, was like that's like the Demigorgon. That's like some of the princes of the hells.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are what I was thinking with demigods. So you're saying that the power scaling of demigods in your world can go from nothing to almost power, like completely powerful.
That's what
Mhm.
I was thinking, because it's a varying thing. Like, even in some like lore outside of it, they're
Yeah.
not all demigods have god powers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you also
That's-
think about it like even demons are considered gods, but they are demons, Also, if you look in the pantheon, there are some demigods in there.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and each of them has certain things that they do, and it could just be, you know, whatever the description I put there. And
Yeah,
they could do beyond. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to
Yeah, so
like.
without
I
the
mean,
fact that
this still isn't.
yeah, so if we
I
don't
don't know
know
how to think about
anything
it as
about
Victor,
Mhm.
um, because I don't know how it relates to the world we're in.
yeah, and if we
Mhm.
don't
Right?
know anything
So
about them, then we have all the right to fear, right? Because if it can go from 0 to 100, but we don't know where they come from or what they are, then we have all the reason to fear. Like if somebody tells me, "Hey, go get into a fist fight with Hercules," I'm not going to be like, "Oh, he's just a demigod." I'll be like, "Hell no. What the fuck? He's going to kick my ass."
yeah, because like I guess I'm just trying to figure out where demigod is in the scale of your world. So
I
I
would say
forgot
this.
now.
The worshippers are the main thing. That's where gods are worshipped. The more worshippers that they are, the more powerful they
It's like
can
a
be.
pool of power.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's like I know we're talking a little bit above table because where Victor's coming
Yes.
from, it's like he knows well, he knows that the things that he can do in power, like eventually, because he's seen some very, very powerful wizards,
Mhm. Oh
right?
yeah.
Like, drop meteors on people's heads, disintegrate them to ash, right? And
Correct.
what he's assuming is um, a demigod is like a step above, like a level 20, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, even gods are even above that.
Yeah.
And the one thing is like with demigods, if they like, for instance, if you guys met a demigod and they go, "Hey, I'm a demigod," but they look like a hobo, it's because they choose to be a hobo, right? And they might have no power, or they might have little healing abilities, or they might actually be older than all of you. It really depends. Versus, versus like, because it's above table, versus Toll and Vera, who are demigods. They're the ones that are the king and queen of thieves. They have their own abilities, which nobody really knows what it is. They are just basically thieves. They come and go as they please. And, they get worship, and sometimes you might see her take a little trinket, which a couple of them have witnessed that. Um, you know, and it really depends on the scale. Now, like for Victor's viewpoint, oh yeah, 1,000 questions there because his world, how I imagine, is that he knows about his goddess and the demigod. And because where he comes from, they butt heads, you know. And then you got the third factor, and I would assume that he would definitely know like the triple goddess because it's in that area, and
Mhm.
the three and the triplets because they're also goddesses of magic. If he wanted to, he could actually tug a little string and ask them, but that's up to him. Above table, OC, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And it really depends, you know. But his gifts, his powers, does come from Lilith, and because that's who he worships. And if you think about it, if everybody annihilated all the vampires, then she will probably lose herself. So that's why the captain is saying we take out his crew because they are considered his worshipper. I'm tired.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about bringing it like above table like that, but just
No,
trying to
that's
figure
fine.
out like if if I'm role playing this incorrectly.
Yeah,
No,
no, I'm
it's
glad you
fine.
asked because I was wondering the same thing. Because I'm like, we're talking about demigods, and I'm over here looking at my 27 HP. Like, are you fucking kidding?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you gotta think about it. I mean, it's the same thing. Like if you were to go into somebody's kingdom and try to like murder the king with your
Right.
27, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. Uh, it's yeah, I mean, in my imagination, my world, that's how it is. I mean, if Victor wanted later in his life go for that goal of becoming a god, he could probably do it because he's a demigod. He's a
Yeah.
dhampir, which they do last a long time because that's the whole thing. It's like if you want to get to point A to point B, you got to know everything. You got to create this worship or this persona where you're teaching people, you're making them do all that stuff. So yeah, and then it's up to the divines up there to be like, I guess he kind of got enough worshipers. What do you think? Kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
All right. Where was I? Sorry, I was having a very long thought. I did think about a couple of things. Right. Uh, there's some very powerful demigods. One of them's the queen of the Strigoi vampires. Extremely powerful. Was always told to run away and just don't ever engage with them. I think I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. But I'm shaking in my boots. We have no idea how strong this individual is.
We don't. But at the same time, leaving it unchecked isn't going to be good for anyone.
I completely agree.
So we'll do the best that we can with what we have. And I know that you don't trust the captain as much, but I have faith in her skills. And if she thinks that she can do this, I'm willing to put my hope in her. In the meantime, Magpie's gonna stand up. If our battlefield is going to be on the deck ship, I'm going to try to find out where a few good vantage points are. And she will go and make her way above deck to see if there's any good places where she can perch to fire from. if a battle should break out.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, you look around, definitely, and there's actually 3 different crow's nests. The one that's in the middle is a taller one, and the other 2, the front one is next to being tall, and the back one's a little bit shorter. Alright, what's the
She
rest of you? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, she's just going to take some of her arrows, but instead of making them, she'll take like wads of cloth and tie them around the arrowhead itself, so that she's not like damaging the ship. But she wants to see how far she can shoot from each of the masts.
Okay. What kind of bow do you have?
I have, I believe, a short bow, but I'm double checking. Yep, a short bow.
Okay. So, and what's a short bow? What's,
The range is 80 feet to 320 feet.
Okay, no, yeah, any of them would fit perfect. I would say, Glenn will probably be the one that's in the middle, so you can choose the front one or the back one.
Mhm.
What do the rest of you wanna do?
Uh, Nyx will walk the deck looking for gaps in the plank.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm good at these.
Okay. As you take a look, you actually notice for the first time in your life that there is no gaps. This ship is, like, tip top.
She's just gonna look down disappointed.
Damn it, Wind Dancer. I was hoping for secret Heidi fairy spots, but you're too perfect.
I don't know why I just imagine the Patrick Star like cursing. Well, shit.
As you say that, all of a sudden you see a little gap form.
I love you very much, Wind Dancer. Surprise attacks from the fairy.
You feel the ship kinda move back and forth a little bit.
Look,
And the
nobody
rest
expects the fairy to come out from the floorboard.
Sure. I would say that the gap will, you know, change back to normal, but you believe the ship's on the same page as you.
Yeah, the Wind Dancer understands what my plans are. I'm gonna give a crisp high five to the mast.
You swear give you one back. Alright. And the rest of you?
Minerva would just go up to top deck and like prepare. You know, make sure she's got her armor on and
Mhm.
all of that.
Celestia will come up to you. Wait, Minerva?
Mhm.
I have a question. Um, do you have how do I say this without really sounding grim? Do you have any spells just in case, like, if somebody went down?
Ah. Would it be like a spell book? Okay, so when you prepare spells, what would it be like in character?
So you would know the knowledge, but to prepare them, you would have to prepare them in the morning, kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
Let me think 1 second. Yes, actually, I can spare the dying.
No, all right. So that'd be good.
And it's a cantrip, so I can just, do it as much as I want.
That's good. But what if it was too late?
Uh, hmm. I, I mean, it's,
I'm confused because it says a creature that has 0 hit points. So wouldn't that mean that like it's
Dead.
Above
No.
yeah.
table, spare the dying is a spell that instead of making death saves, it forces the creature to just automatically pass. They're still going to be down, not able to do anything, but there's no chance of them forever passing unless they get hit again.
I think the very first resurrection spell when they're dead is Revivify.
Okay.
I do believe you're correct.
okay. I'm other than that one, I don't really have anything else prepared.
All right. I'm trying to remember what level Revivify is.
I think it's level 4.
I'm gonna look.
That's level 3. Level 3 necromancy skill. But you need 300 gold pieces worth of diamond. And it only works if the creature has died within the last minute.
Hmm.
Well, considering a turn is only 6 seconds.
And you are what level are you? 4?
Yes.
Do you get level 3 spells at that level?
I think it's level
Yeah.
5 you do.
Eh,
I have a 3rd level sleep right now.
I think that's part of something
Oh.
else.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah.
wizard level 8 have level 2s. So at 5 I get my level 3.
All right. That's fine. She will look at you. So during my collections stuff, because I never knew what would happen, she hands you a scroll.
Okay.
This is just in case anything happens, please keep it. Uh, if anybody dies, sorry.
Okay.
She'd open it and just look at it.
It is Revivify. Um, and I would say this just in case because it is a spell above you. If it happens, just in case, I will have you roll on something to see if the spell actually works.
Okay.
But in the meantime, there you go. You have a scroll of Revivify.
How do I add that to my inventory? Is it like an actual item or
You just put in just say scroll, and then just put like next to it Revivify spell. So you kind of remind you that you have it.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, looking at the cleric level up path, they don't get any 3rd level spells till 5th level.
Hmm.
And they get 2 spell slots, so 2 casts.
Wait, which level is this one?
That is a well, Third
It's a
level?
third level
Yeah,
necromancy.
Revivify is a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
Okay, so just spell scroll level 3.
Yeah.
Revivify is expensive.
Yeah.
And she kind of she looks at you and smiles. All right. I'm also gonna prepare. And she walks away.
Okay.
Sorry, I was getting that set up in my inventory.
No, it's okay. It's good to have it in your head too.
She'd just go back to preparing after tucking the scroll away in her bag.
There's no problem. And anybody else?
Femi is gonna look at her book and see if anything has changed.
Nope.
Nothing's changed. Okay. Then I guess she'll just sit and wait.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they headed to right now? Are they headed towards the?
Right now, the ship has stopped. Meg found a spot, but during this time, because all of you have been talking, I would say like an hour or two have passed. The captain eventually will resurface, and she will look to everybody, and she will climb the steps towards the wheel. In 3 days, we will fight. So within those 3 days, we will prepare. Boy, you're in charge of the cannons. He nods. Anybody that understands magic or has magic abilities, I advise you to go with the boy when the time is right. Any of you that knows how to fight, please stay above. Just preparing you now because it will be a fight. If something does happen, and only if, trust the ship. All right? Her crew nods. The dwarf, woman, and halfling nods. All right. I already contacted everybody else, and they will be there. All right. Everybody go back to what you're doing. The captain will go back to her quarters. The Voodoo Queen lingers about on top deck. It's all right, everybody. Take a deep breath.
What if you don't need to breathe?
Go through the motions. I'll help calm you.
Yes, I suppose. I wonder how many ships the Red Hand have.
That's a good question.
I don't think
How many
anybody
ships
really
are we
knows.
gonna have?
Another good question.
At least 8.
Oh, don't worry. I also have my own ship coming.
Ah, 9 then.
Oh, there's a lot more. You see, if you think about it, they have their main ships, and then they have more ships. But it's gonna be
Either
interesting
way,
to see.
we won't be alone in this.
No, not alone. Besides, you have all each other. And I'll be watching.
What are you watching for?
I'll be on my ship watching for the fight. And when the moment comes, the spirits will be on my side. So take this moment. Understand the ship. Look about. I already see some of you looking for places, and that's good. But also watch for cannonballs, because if it hits you, ooh, that's no more. In 3 days, the ocean will see the red. And the skies will be black. And so it would rain. And we'll see who's on top. She smiles. And in her hand, she kind of plays with a card, flipping it back and forth. Destiny's upon us. Oh, you take care.
Well, at the very least, we're not going down without a fight.
That is true. That is true. During the next few days, as you guys prepare, depending on how or what you do, if it's changing spells, if you can, looking around to see if there is any hiding places or advantage. For these past months, the Wind Dancer has become your home. For these past months, all of you had adventures and completed the task. And now, a war, a fight above the horizon. You look around and you start to see ships gather. You know, tomorrow will be it. Tomorrow, the fight. Are you all prepared? We'll see. We shall see. We'll go ahead and end it right there. I know I can continue, but some things need to, you know.
Oh, snap.
So next week, we'll see. And some of you can change your spells out. Make sure by next week.
I don't think a bard can, sadly.
Bards can't, sorry.
Yeah, no, I cannot. I'm stuck with what I got.
Mm-hmm.
I think bards only get that during level up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, in general, I did put an entire speech.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He started giving a speech. I was like, I feel like this is what the captain would do.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tonight. I know it was short and we had some stuff, but I can't start a fight now because that'll be too much.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to get into a fight right now.
So we will return next Sunday at 6:30. Wait, yeah, 6:30 p.m.
EST.
EST. I'm looking at the time right now because it says 6:43 for me. So I was like, wait a second. Yeah, that's right. So we return tomorrow. Are we gonna have a follow up?
Yeah, I think we should probably
We
do.
did miss it last week, and there was talk that it would happen.
It'd have to be 2 episodes.
Yeah, we can probably. I mean, I think it still won't be hella long. We could probably do the
No,
2
we won't.
episodes tomorrow and set it up for the fight.
Sounds good. So tomorrow we will have that. Keep an ear out, and we will see you next week.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
Yay.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Like,